All right, so last week we did forms, which is where you would have to create areas for someone to put information into or to select information. This week we're going to work on multimedia. Does anyone have any idea what multimedia is?
Multiple medias.
Correct. So that would be video, images, sound, things like that. All right. So a lot of this you might have to come up with some images, like you might have to go around, take some pictures of something, or find them on the internet and download and save them. All right. So just go through this little presentation real quick. It's not going to be long. All right. So here is a new tag that we have. It'll be the image tag. All right. So whenever you have things in your folder, like in your Google Drive, all right, you need to make sure you save your images into a specific file called images or whatever you're going to do, preferably images. All right. So you have your index.html document, and then you'll have your images folder. So this is not the same as your content folder. And then you have the actual file, which would be whatever you saved it as to your computer. All right. Now, you're going to have this tag. So it's going to be the less than sign img for image, src equals quotation marks, and then you put the file pathway. Okay. So in this case, if you do the ... it knows that you're going into the home folder because you're already in that home file for the website itself. And then you tell it /, then you're going to access this folder, images, / this file, colors.png. All right. Then you're going to close the quotation. Then you always have to have an alternative text. Okay. So the alternative text, or the alt text, is just a couple of words or maybe a short sentence describing what it is. All right. So for whatever reason, your web browser doesn't load up correctly, like the person's internet connection is slow, or they have a vision disability where they can't see the screen and they have to use a screen reader. The screen reader will read the alternative text in place of obviously them seeing the image. Okay, so you do need to have the alt text. Okay, put the description in the color or in the quotation marks. Then you're going to do a \greater than sign. All right, so that is the complete tag. All right. So images and their sizes. All right. So here on the left, you have an image that will take up basically the whole screen. Okay, depending on the resolution. So if the web browser was at 1024 by 768, this cat image is 800 pixels. All right. That's so. If you ever look at like an older TV screen or an older computer screen, sometimes you can see little squares. Like if you look close enough, those are pixels. Okay, so nowadays when you have like TVs that are like, oh, we've got over 1 million pixels. Okay, they have 1 million little squares, and the squares are actually what show the color. No. So each little square turns into a color to make your image on the screen, like this projected image. Okay, there's probably millions of pixels in here. Gentlemen. Jake. Okay. All right. So we have here source media, minimum width, 800 pixels. The source is set, and then it gives you the file name. Source media minimum width 400 pixels. source set, the file name. So over here we have a smaller window, like someone just shrunk it down, or it's on a really small screen. And it's set at 512 by 384. Okay, so basically half of this original size. And so the cat image is going to appear a lot smaller. All right, and if you had this same image on this window, you wouldn't be able to see the whole image at one time. Okay, you'd have to like scroll over to the left, right, up and down. All right. So a vector versus a bitmap. All right. So if you had the letter A and then kind of zoomed in on each one of those A's, a vector uses math to complete the line in the shape no matter how zoomed in you are. Okay. This is obviously highly beneficial type of thing, but it's more of a newer technology in the last 10 years or so. And not every program can do a vector image. All right. Now, Bitmap, when y'all made y'all's games, okay, and you created your characters and you had all those little squares, each one of those was like a bit, okay? Each little box was like a pixel, all right? But with bitmapping, it doesn't create nice diagonal lines. Instead, it has, those little squares and blocks, and it colors them in, one square at a time. So you don't get a nice, solid diagonal line. You get this little stair-step case when you zoom in. All right. So vector, obviously much cleaner. Okay, so if you can get a vector image, that would be better. Animated GIFs, okay, easily done. You just have to have the file. So image source, save it to your images folder, give it a name, .gif, okay, alternative text, archival video showing cat running. All right. Iframe, so an inline frame, or iframe, is an HTML page embedded in another HTML page. All right. So if you had a table or something you wanted to show from one of your other web pages inside of this page, you could easily do it. You just need to put the website file name and then the width value and the height value. All right. The width and height value you can adjust, but again, if you try and take a small image and blow it up, and it's not a vector image, you're going to get this bitmapping when you increase the size of your image, and it's going to look blurry. All right. Video, okay, you can add video content, video source, then the file name, width, height, okay. Then you have a paragraph tag describing the content of the video, and then close the video tag. You do need to have the file yourself. You can't just put in like a YouTube link or something like that very easily. So you do need to have the video rights. So don't just copy and paste it and over and expect to not get copyrighted. Audio, you can add audio, little MP3 files. For those of you that listen to or use SoundCloud, and you go to someone's website and it has that little SoundCloud icon or whatever that you can click on, that's basically an audio control file that's connecting to their SoundCloud. All right. All right, so you need to create a subfolder in your content folder called Multimedia. Okay, so I'm in my drive where I have my websites. All right, I've got my index file, content folder, and we're going to create a new folder and call it Multimedia. and this is where you're going to save all of your image, video, and audio files. And you're going to be using the // link code to tell your website to access certain files. All right. When you've created that multimedia folder, go to your Visual Studio Code, and we're going to start a new one. Okay. And remember, we always need to copy our template over, so that saves us a bunch of typing. I can spell multimedia practice. File, save as. Okay, remember, if you do not save it as an HTML file, it'll just be a TXT file, and you won't get all of the features of it.
Come on, can't see. Context. Can you go back to the theme studio song?
So you're going to have this image in your assignment. Open it, click on these three dots, open a new window, and then hit the download button. Okay, if you're using Chrome, it should appear down here, and then you can click Show in Folder, and it'll take you to that location. Okay, so we're going to add this to our website. All right, so here is how this needs to be saved. You're going to have to move this file into your Content Multimedia folder. Okay, so you're going to go New, File, Upload, and then you're going to select the image name and upload it to your folder. Alright, so now we're going to type out this string of code into our Visual Studio Code. So we start with the image source. Okay, make sure you are in the body. Image source equals // Alright, and then you need to find your folder. So it should be Content Multimedia. And then the name of the file, which we saved it as, mine is getimage2. I'm going to rename it for simplifying. Get rid of this 2 here. So make sure you capitalize everything that needs to be capitalized. So getimage.png. And we need to do our alt text. Alright, so for right now you might see this little icon right here. Anytime you see this, that means you can't access the file. Like if you're on a website and you see that image, it means their files are messed up. But we will fix this later. All right, but for right now,